She's an award-winning YouTuber and best-selling author obsessed with helping you go after the life you want.
I like it.
Join her as she seeks out the stories and strategies
Give me every little detail.
of extraordinary people who found success.
I'm going to get emotional. Oh my God.
Welcome to Detail Therapy with Amy Landino.
Good morning, good life. Welcome back to Detail Therapy. In this episode, we're going to get into the details about bettering your mornings. What do you need to stop doing in order to make that happen and start your day on your terms? And I also have a very, 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 very exciting announcement to share with you, if you've not already heard, that is going to massively help upgrade your morning routine. If you're new here, hello, my name is Amy Landino and I will be your host. I'm a success coach and founder of Gatlu House, a resource dedicated to helping you go after the life you want. You can find all of our work in the show notes for this podcast at detailtherapy.online. Well, I just got to get it off my chest. First, the very big news. You may remember back in August, we launched the first official hardcover morning routine planner, the Good Morning Good Life planner. I love it so much. I use it every single morning. I know so many of you do as well. We sold out in the first 35 hours of the first batch, which was incredible. We restocked it twice. It's been going great. But I've also gotten some amazing feedback from the users of the planner. And I am here to say today that your feedback has been taken and a new version has arrived. That is right. The official 12-month not limited edition like the last one, which was 16 months and dated. We have a 12-month undated Good Morning Good Life planner available in Gatlu.store officially as of yesterday. Actually, I announced it on Amy TV. So I want you to go check it out. If you were holding out because you wanted a brand spanking new planner that was fully customizable for your new year, well, you can get it now. It's available. Not only is it undated, 12 months, a lot more customizable. We've upgraded the Get Ahead spread, so there's more for you to plan in terms of your goals. We have the 7 key areas for going after the life you want, which are health, mindset, career, relationships, wealth, your spirituality, and your legacy. All of those areas available for you to work your goals out. We have expanded reflection routine pages. There's so much, not to mention a bookmark and stickers. So yeah, there's a whole lot going on. You've got to check it out. I'm so pleased with it. I feel like this thing just continues to get bigger and better. So whether you need a planner or you want to grab one for a friend because you've been enjoying your limited edition version, that is available now over at Gatlu.store. I also want to mention something really fun that we've got going on for anyone who has either the new planner that is in the store, or you picked up the limited edition in the last few months. Regardless of which version you have, we're doing something very special for planner people like you, and that is my official 30-day Good Morning Good Life challenge. It kicks off on January 1st. You'll get a special little video message from me with an actionable tip of how you can better start the day on your terms. You can even sign up for text notifications if that's more your speed. So whether you have the first planner or the new planner, then please go find more details in the show notes for how you can get on board with the 30-day challenge. I cannot wait to do this with you in 2021. All right, let's dive into how we're going to upgrade your morning routines ASAP, okay? And I want to start with a story. When you think about things you should stop doing in the mornings, maybe you've got a few ideas, but I'd like to tell you about my experience because believe it or not, I've not had the most perfect of mornings my whole life. Far from, actually. I had been out of the house and on my own for about 3 years, so still kind of a young adult. I had a full-time job at a car dealership and even moved into an apartment right down the street to make life a little bit easier while commuting. One morning, I woke up for work and was instantly confused, which was actually like a lot of mornings. But on this morning, it was really confusing because it was brighter than I remember it being the day before. I looked at my clock on the nightstand. Wait, does that say I'm late? I really couldn't believe it. I grabbed my LG who knows what flip phone to see if anyone had tried to reach me. I knew I was late, but I also wasn't processing just how late I was. I noticed my hand felt suddenly wet when I grabbed that phone. I looked down and the whole nightstand was soaking wet with water because at some point in the middle of the night, my hand must have knocked my very cheaply made nightstand and my cup of water was on its side. Somehow I did that in my sleep and I'm trying to understand how I did because I'm actually pretty chill when I'm sleeping. I don't move around that much. But anyway, I'm thinking all of this through while I am just rushing to get ready for work. Brush my teeth, comb and do something with my hair, throw on underwear and a pair of slacks, the easiest part of my outfit, then rustling around for the button-down top that is the easiest thing to add to my slacks and just a different color from the day before. I grab my purse, a bag of rice for my phone, please come back to life, I am too broke for this, and ran out the door, barely giving Lucy enough time to do her business before I have to speed down the road, which thank goodness is very close by, but still, a commute is a commute. It was the worst, the literal worst way to spend my morning in the history of the world. This might sound familiar to you. If you commute every day, there are so many things to do before we actually have to be somewhere to do a bunch more things that need to get done. Waking up late is certainly not ideal ever. We don't plan to be late, but we really get it down to the wire. But how different is this process if you hit the snooze or just choose to get up at the very last moment? You know this feeling well, I'm sure. We've all been there. So you probably know the feeling after all this hubbub when you finally get to your workplace. I sat down at my desk that day and got focused finally. And it's funny how things just immediately slow down. Your heart rate starts to normalize. You look around and go, did anyone even notice I was late or almost late? All that drama, and it's possible that you were the only one to be part of the crazy show. Maybe you do have someone who sees when you're 30 seconds late or adds to your stress. Regardless of the circumstances, it's one of the greatest downfalls of our productive lifestyle. Waiting for external accountability to show up and give us a talking to. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we wait for someone to tell us we were bad or late or anything else? Do we really need a dressing down to wake up and smell the coffee? If we wait for the world to tell us when and where to be all the time, we will never get into the habit of becoming the leader of what we do have control over. Do not wait for the last minute to arrive to get out of bed. Get out of bed and soak up all the minutes that can truly and completely be your own. If nothing else, you've done a better job of controlling your cortisol levels for the day. That's stress, in case you didn't know. Here are some things that we can stop doing right away in order to make that happen, in order to make the most of the first moments, to truly claim them for our own. First, stop waking up to your significant other. No, not him. Your smartphone. I want you to think about, maybe it's an episode of The Crown. Treat yourself like royalty and start sleeping in separate rooms from that little guy, okay? You can have a great relationship during the day, but at night and when you first wake up, no, we don't need each other that badly. When you wake up and grab your smartphone right away, first of all, I hope it's not wet like mine was. That's always a total tragedy for all of us, no matter how supposedly waterproof our phones may be. But you definitely want to start with your own thoughts first. And it can be really easy to start giving away your mind to the rest of the world when you wake up with your phone in your face immediately. It's not just about not checking email or checking social media or trying to post something. It's just about recognizing how you feel in that first moment of the day. Can you start keeping track of better days than worse? Can you start to understand how you actually feel, what you actually desire, what you want to do as you step out of bed and put your feet on the ground? We wake up and we're stressed either because we're late or because we start looking at a feed that is trying to tell us how we are supposed to feel. Even if the news of the day is tragic, when is it not? Can you give yourselves a little bit of time to allow things to not be so bad, to choose for things to not be so bad? They don't even have to be spectacular. They can just be. The more you recognize just being present and things just being, the more you realize that most things can just be and don't actually have to be bad at all. And that is just a thought process that we have. The next thing to stop doing every morning is hitting the snooze button. I know it's that one that everybody loves to say, so easy. And I'm not going to lie, it's not like I never hit the snooze. Every once in a while, it's like I just can't help myself. But the reality is that every time you snooze, you're taking away from the time for yourself. You may think that that extra sleep time is time for yourself, but all you're actually doing is starting another sleep cycle that you're not going to be able to finish. And what you and I do not do is start something that we're not going to finish, at least things that are worthwhile finishing, which sleep totally is. So do not even tempt yourself. Allow yourself to wake up a little bit earlier. Actually wake up with your alarm. One of the things that I've been loving lately is I got that fancy alarm clock. I pushed back on it for a while because I was like, what do I need this for? But it actually is spectacular. The Hatch alarm clock, which wakes you up with lights and sounds, but not like a blaring, annoying sound unless you want it. And the light actually helps you to wake up a little bit before your alarm is meant to go off, which is a lot calmer and less stressful way to wake up. And actually makes me feel good because it means, hey, not only am I awake, I am awake before the time I actually shot for, which is really cool. I mean, who doesn't feel good about that when they're like, ooh, look at me, I'm up a little bit earlier than I'm supposed to be, if we're trying to be, right? When you get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's way earlier than you were supposed to be up, that's not the same feeling. I'm talking about like that subtle 10 minutes before the alarm is meant to go off. That's an extra 10 minutes that you can get for your mindfulness, for your mastery, for your movement this morning. How will you use it? Don't hit the snooze. Take the time that is offered to you. If you say, I don't have time, why are you ignoring the time that's being offered? The other thing to not do in the morning is make extra decisions. This is a big one. One of the reasons why our stress levels increase, like our bad stress, is because from the moment we wake up, we have to start making decisions. Will I go to the gym? What am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? What will I do for my morning routine? By making these extra decisions, every single decision that you have to make throughout the rest of the day, I know you're thinking of the one that's for dinner with your significant other right now, when the two of you just keep going back and forth. I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. What are you in the mood for? As if that's going to cause them to give you a real answer. By the point of the day where you're making your 800th decision and it gets harder and harder, it's because we start with too many we didn't have to make in the first place. Setting out your clothes has a purpose. It's not so it'll take less time. It's definitely a bonus for that reason. It's mostly because we don't need you to make that extra decision. And your decision-making processes and thoughts can be used at a much better time. So setting out your clothes is for the purpose of pulling back on decision making. Same with what you're going to eat and meal planning. It's not because you're going to be the next fitness champion. It's so that you can save time and limit decision making by already knowing what you're going to eat and just going to get it or going to make it or going to order it. And it's just done. It's already been decided. Makes it a lot easier to get into a routine when it's already decided. And the same goes for your morning routine. It's why we have these steps in the planner. It's not just a look at your day. We have the pages in advance to say, what are some options for your movement, for your mindfulness, for your mastery? Make a decision on what you're going to do for each of those 3 buckets tomorrow. And then it's just decided. When you get up and you can feel like you barely operate at an optimal level at this moment of the day, you don't have to think about if you'll do your morning routine. You sit down to do the things you had planned. And there are things that are just for you. There's no deadline. There's no rush. There's nobody holding you accountable. They're just the things that you said to yourself, I really want to do that. So do it. But don't make yourself make the decision in the moment. Next, the thing to stop doing is jumping to negativity. It's really easy to get frustrated. I like to walk around in the dark and tiptoe around because I don't want to wake anybody up. I actually love doing it as much as it's annoying at the same time. So when I stub my toe, because I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing because I can barely operate because my eyes are still crusted shut, that hurts and I get frustrated. I could have just turned a light on, but sometimes I don't, okay? Other things happen that are frustrating. Sometimes the coffee doesn't taste as good that morning, or you remember something you forgot to do, and now all of a sudden you think, I have a plan for this morning, but if I were smart, I would do that thing I meant to do before. Don't allow yourself to go straight to negativity. I like to make sure that I don't drop any 4-letter words before the noon hour, if at all possible, because I feel like it's not setting the right tone for the morning. All of the negativity that just gathers together in this little ball and it just sits in the front of your brain and it's all you feel like, it's all you do to address the rest of the world going forward is all of that frustration. So whatever typically makes you annoyed or frustrated first thing in the morning, just avoid them at all cost until you have to, because you're going to be a lot better for it. You're going to have a clearer mind to be able to take it on. Next, stop trying to do someone else's best morning routine. We've talked about this many times. There's probably some cool stuff that Warren Buffett has done in the morning, or Bill Gates, or Sarah Blakely, or Tony Robbins, or Oprah Winfrey. They probably have fabulous morning routines. And do you know why we like them so much? Because we can imagine them doing it. Why? Because it's what's right for them. And then when you see yourself doing it, literally going through the motions, and it's unsustainable, you hate it and it doesn't work for you. And you think morning routines don't work for you. Do not opt into doing a morning routine that has not been customized for you. That is not starting the day on your terms. Choose your movement bucket. Choose your mindfulness bucket. Choose your mastery bucket. These 3 moments, even if they're only 15 minutes each or 5 minutes each, whatever you have, or maybe they fluctuate. Maybe you want to spend an hour on mastery, so your movement and mindfulness are a lot shorter. It's up to you because it's your time. But find the things that fit the bill that are right for you to have a well-rounded, positive start to the day. And finally, just don't wake up without a plan. We've basically covered that in everything that I've talked about. But if you get in bed tonight and you say to yourself, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow morning. I could wake up at the last minute before I have to report to my Zoom meeting, or I could wake up a little bit earlier. If it's all could and should and maybe, how much do you think you're going to be making that decision tonight while you're sleeping? Don't wait to plan your morning. Stick to it the best that you can. Give it a fair shake. Wake up a little bit earlier every day, not drastically earlier for one day, miserably. Do what's right for you. Take the baby steps, but never start the day without a plan. Even if it's very loose, for those of you who do very poorly with planning, something as simple as knowing a couple of options for your movement, your mindfulness, and your mastery are enough, as well as the time you will start doing it. My planner can help you with this. Head over to gatlu.store to check it out. 12 months. Totally customizable stickers, undated, a bookmark, and even the possibility to join us for the 30-day challenge, which starts on January 1st. I know so many of you are thinking about your morning routine for January 1st, not just for December, because we love a new year. New year, new me, right? Dang, we definitely feel like that going out of 2020, don't we? Check it out. It's over at gatlu.store. All the details for signing up for the challenge are there as well. If you enjoyed this show, please share it with somebody that it could help as well. Maybe you know someone who struggles in the morning or struggles in planning how they're going to move forward with their lives after such a tumultuous year. Please let them know that this might be a good space for them to hang out. And then you can also let me know by leaving a review on iTunes. If you go over, leave your true and honest review, you just might win a Good Morning, Good Life planner. And I think if you're still listening at this point, planning a positive morning is something that you're excited about. So definitely head over for a chance to win on our next episode. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you back here next time. Cheers.